Well, good morning and welcome to another Wednesday conversation. I hope wherever you are, you're warmer than it is here in the Washington, Maryland area. I was getting ready to say Dallas, but I'm in the DMV. So I hope wherever you are, it's warmer there than it is here. Listen, if you are a professional, accomplished, capable woman, but you find yourself hesitating when you are going to make a decision, then this episode is for you because it's all about self trust. I want you to put it in the chat whether or not you've ever experienced a time when you simply didn't trust yourself. You didn't trust that you would make the right decision. That's what we're going to talk about today. There was a time in my life when I felt something inside shifted. It wasn't dramatic, it wasn't sudden, it was very quiet. But inside, I felt like something was off. I know a lot of you women know what it feels like when you know something is off. I was still showing up, still capable, still doing my thing, but I found myself questioning every decision I made. When I was faced with things that I had, done 1,000 times, I would second guess myself. I'd start asking for other people's opinion when no opinion and no advice was needed. I realized I didn't have a confidence issue. I had a self trust issue. I simply stopped trusting myself. I want you to put it in the chat if that's ever happened to you when you just, for whatever reason, things that came easy to you suddenly became difficult. Before we jump into this episode, I want to welcome any new viewers. I'm Constance Howard. I'm an executive coach, and I help women who are challenged with confidence issues and are dealing with limiting beliefs. And yes, self trust, because the foundation of your confidence and your ability to move forward and become the woman that you want to become is self trust. I want to tell you that there was a time in my life when I thought I was making the best decision. I want to take you back into my self trust journey. I'm going to take you back to 2011, that time. I thought I was making a very responsible, strategic decision by ending my TV career and going into real estate. I thought that that would give me an opportunity to step back and kind of not be on this fast roller coaster. And so I studied at night after I left TV news. I'd study at night and I took the test. And before I submitted my final exam, I thought to myself, my life is never going to be the same. My life is from this moment on, my life is going to change. And I got to tell you, it did, but not for the better. What happened was this was during the 2008, 2010, 11 time when the economy imploded. And it took the real estate industry with it. And as a rookie real estate agent, I was unable to sustain myself. And I lost everything I had. I lost every dime I had. I lost my house, my car. It was just a very horrible, situation. I had to declare bankruptcy, and I went from, a six-figure job to working in a small gym for $7.50 an hour. And there's nothing wrong with that. Listen, I thank God for that job because it gave me time to lick my wounds and to figure out where I was going. But what surprised me wasn't that the financial setback of it. What surprised me was how I started to feel about myself. You see, that my inner critic took off. It was like my inner critic was on steroids, and it would say such horrible things, to me. I would think such horrible things about myself. I would think like, how foolish could you have been to leave a six-figure job and to go into an industry that you know nothing about. and it started to say things like, if you made such a colossal mistake with this decision, what makes you think you can move forward and make another good decision? What makes you think your next decision won't be a doozer as well? And at that point, everything inside me shifted. Decisions became exhausting. I sought out and consulted everybody on just about everything. I wanted advice and then more advice and then more advice. I don't know if you've ever been caught up in that cycle where you're just paralyzed. You can't make a decision because you don't trust yourself. You don't know whether someone else is giving you good advice. So you continue that loop. You go to the next person and the next person. And more often than not, whoever advised me, whoever was the last person to advise me, I would just go with that advice because I would just be, as I said, exhausted. And what I realized is that I handed over my authority. I gave it away. Instead of me being in control of me and knowing what was good for me, I handed it over to somebody else. But here's the thing. Here's the shocker. It wasn't that colossal mistake that I made that eroded my self-trust. It wasn't that. Self-trust slowly erodes. It goes away very quietly. It happens every time you second guess yourself. Every time you assume someone knows better than you do. That's when your self-trust starts to go away. Every time you override your instincts, your gut feeling, and you go with what somebody else has to say, that's how your self-trust starts to slowly go away. It's not dramatic, it's repetitive. It's everyday decisions that you give away. And I know a lot of women, especially women who are in business, understand what I'm talking about because, we spend years climbing, I should say clawing our way up the corporate ladder. And, we learn how to read the room. We learn how to manage expectations and we learn how to go along to get along. And listen, those skills at one point probably helped you become the person that you are. Those skills helped you, advance in your career, but they're not serving you now, and they're not helping you to become the woman that you want to become. Somewhere along the way, as we go along to get along, we stop listening to ourselves. And our decisions become more about what other people expect and approve of, and less about what feels really true to you. Does that make sense? I know that when I felt this inside, like when I finally realized what was happening and how I was giving my authority away, I knew inside that I could name it. It was a relief because I understood what was going on inside me and why all of my decisions felt harder and why, I didn't have a lot of clarity on the things that I wanted because I was always seeking advice and seeking approval. I was always asking for permission where no permission was needed. And I know a lot of women feel like that. Like you're trying to make sure everybody is okay. You want to make sure that everybody signs off on something that should be your decision and only your decision. Because while all of this is going on, you're still experienced, you're still capable, you're still the woman who shows up, and you're still that reliable one, right? But inside, there's all kinds of, turmoil because you don't have your inner authority. You've handed it over. This isn't a personal failure. It's a strategy, but the strategy doesn't work now for the person you are becoming, the woman that you are becoming. You don't need to build self-trust because you're broken. Listen to me clearly. You do not need to build self-trust because you're broken. You need to build self-trust because you are evolving, because you are expanding who you are and what you want to do and who you want to be. So if you've stopped listening to yourself, if you've been deferring decisions instead of deciding, if you are overriding your instincts, here's what I want you to do. Just notice when that happens. The first step in correcting this and the first step in building your self-trust is to become aware of when you give your authority away. Don't make any judgment calls about it. Just notice when you're faced with a decision, what you do. Do you go inside and think about what your values are and what is important to you? Or do you go to your friend, your bestie, and get advice? Do you often go with what other people say, or do you follow your path? Just notice that. And then start to take baby steps. You know, that's what I did. I started with baby steps, and it could be as small as, where am I going for lunch? What am I going to do for the weekend? Just take baby steps to get used to hearing your voice, going with your instinct, trusting your instinct, and then moving forward. Now, there are going to be times when it may not work out the way you want, but it was your decision, not someone else's decision. Self-trust is an everyday, it's an everyday exercise. It's like building a muscle. The more you use it, the more it grows. The more you start to trust yourself, the more you start living the life that you want and not the life that someone else has designed for you. Listen, if this message has resonated with you, I want you to click the bell and hit the subscribe button so you'll be notified when any new episodes are posted. I do all kinds of episodes about confidence, limiting beliefs, and just how you can become the woman you want to become. And also, leave me a comment. Let me know if this resonates with you and how it resonated with you, because I would love to know. I'm Constance Howard, and I'm cheering for your success. I'll see you next time.